Here we are, Kenilworth Castle, Warwickshire in England, on a lovely summer's day. The ruins of Kenilworth Castle, it's often called nowadays. The castle has been associated with lots of royalty over the years. I'm no historian, but in date order, I think it runs from King Edmund, King Canute, King John, Henry III, Henry V, Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth I. Lovely setting in the Warwickshire countryside. Today it's run by English Heritage, looked after very nicely. They've put an Elizabethan garden in there. This is one of the signs in the entrance. Another sign that I think is very good is this one that gives a overall aerial view, but this in the corner here, this is a simplified ground plan showing when the various bits of the castle were built. Parts of it were built in the 12th century, 13th century, 14th century and the 16th century. So that map's very useful. This is the west aspect. A lovely view across the fields. Just want to say something about the public footpaths that emanate from Kenilworth Castle. Well worth a visit, well worth going around. Well worth getting a book on, I'll come to that in a moment, but round the castle, both sides of the castle, all round it and then out into the Warwickshire countryside is public footpaths. There's one on the easterly side and look at the view you get. If you look closely, there's another footpath close into the castle. You can see a couple of folks and a dog walking round there. There are many footpaths that emanate from Kenilworth Castle, go round it, one round this side, one round the other side. They'll show up on the video somewhere. This is my old Footpath book. Got lots of good information in. It really is quite old. This was published by the Kenilworth Footpath Preservation Group, I think 1987 I got that. But you can get other publications, but this you can get hold of one of these. This one's a good one. And then you'll get yourself around Kenilworth and the castle. This is the view from the footpath on Purlieu Lane, back across the fields. The ruins of Kenilworth Castle. Saw its fair share of battles and sieges and things over the years. Built of red sandstone, that's the outer wall, and inside the ruins of some of the buildings built at various times. There's a couple of close-ups of the sandstone gateway entrance. Sitting right in a lovely part of Warwickshire. That building there, I think that was the last bit of the castle to be built in the 16th century. I think Henry VIII had a hand in that, and that's where Queen Elizabeth stopped. Those cottages in the background, we'll have a quick look at those in a moment, on Castle Green. Nearly as famous as the castle itself, this. They look straight across at the castle. Some of them look a bit Cotswoldy. But gorgeous. And if you go over that side of the road and look back towards the castle, this is what you see. This is probably the northern aspect. And that's probably the most ruined bit of the castle, probably the earliest built as well. That bit is mostly intact. That's the gatehouse, used for the offices now for English Heritage. And across the road you got Castle Green. And the Queen and Castle, it was a hotel but it's now a pub and a restaurant, celebrating when Queen Elizabeth came to stay. at Kenilworth Castle in 1575. Just finishing off now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you come and visit. This is the easterly frontage across the meadow. Don't forget those footpaths. You can see a couple of people walking around there in the distance. Magical place.